So I want to do a little video today on how I make money in Gran Turismo 7. This is my rig. I built it out of aluminum conduit, welded it all together. Um, I have an e-brake that I made out of an actual e-brake off of Amazon for like uh, real car. Um, Modified it. Maybe I can do a video about that some other time. G29 shifter or steering wheel shifter. Took the pedals apart, mounted it upside down, so it's hanging like what they normally would, I guess. It feels more comfortable anyway. And so I got this strut holding up the TV. It does wiggle a little bit when you, or a lot of bit, but all in all, pretty sturdy. And if you bump it, it kind of gives you a little more realism. It shouldn't do that, but it does. Anyway, so I'm going to show you what I do, which is semi-easy. So we go world, and then we go and we pick the car. There's my little girl. Anyway, so we change car, and we come down here to the Tomahawk, which is the VGT GR1, right? We click on that. And we come over to missions. For this, you actually have to have the Belgium track unlocked. Come up to the Cirque du Spa, right? And come over to the 1 million credit. And at the end of this, it's 800 or less, so I can go in and show you car settings, which is I just run the racing intermediate tires on it because it handles really decent anyway. As for base stats, can't remember. I think the only thing that I wound up doing, and I could be completely wrong because it's been a long time, is basically just to get you under 800, I went power restrictor of 79%, and 70% output. Some of the other stats are this, and it should get you about there. So what happens is when you start this race, you'll actually, with a little bit of practice, you'll be able to get into probably 14th or 15th spot first lap. Everybody above 15th spot is relatively quicker than you in the straights, so it's the corners that help. The track does go through the night, and normally at night it turns to rain, and the amount of rain it does is, I don't know how to explain it. It can be none, or it can be a downpour and a pain in the butt. But if you do that and it rains heavy, basically all the other cars will slow down to a snail's pace. So you just basically drive exactly the same as you do in the dry, slow down just a little bit more on some of the corners, and you'll be perfect because every other car has to pit 2 to 3 times, and you'll only pit after like 31 minutes in the race. But I can do a quick lap here and show you some of the ways that I actually take the corners. And we'll do that. All right. So we'll start on the back stretch so you don't have to worry about that first hairpin with 900 people in the way. This you can take flat out, but the first time you come into this corner, these guys slow down faster than, or slow down way quicker than you do, or before you do, I guess should say, in a time sense. You can go into the corner a lot later than they can on this corner, usually the 50-foot mark. Go into second, this chicane at second, this right-hander at second, up into third, brake, second around this corner, kind of just barely ride the accelerator. Speed up, let off the accelerator, through second, third, fourth here, downshift, turn in at 50. So in third gear, upshift into fourth. This chicane up here, downshift into second, turn tight, left, still in second, third, then down into second. Come out of this, third, full acceleration all the way through, fourth. Just follow it around. The sweeping left-hand corner, the AI won't brake. Stay the outside. On this corner, they will brake. If you're right on somebody, you'll start catching them, so just be mindful of that. This one, oops, sorry. Brake at the 100, first gear. And also, this is the pit. The first time I raced this, I was like, where in the heck am I supposed to be going? But, so at 29 or 30 minutes, you want to pit, and you know, if you have to change your gas ratio to make it last a little bit longer, if you come in on a drier track, you'll waste more gas than you do on a wet track. I'm not sure why, just because you're not on the throttle as much, I guess. But anyway, that's how I wind up doing it, and you'll come in first place at the end, usually a lap or two above the next closest guy. The only other thing I have to say about the way the race ends is when your timer elapses at 60 minutes and ends at 0, whatever lap you're on becomes the last lap. So if you are right in front of the finish line and you're in first place and you stop before the finish line because you have 5 seconds left, or a minute, as long as you're ahead of the second place guy, you can cross the finish line and you'll win. So it's not like the time elapses and then that is the last, you still have to do one more lap. It's just basically when you cross the finish line after the time is gone. So anyway, I hope you found that somewhat like informative, but let me know. Thanks.